I'm Ezrah Raya, and this is the Manila Times. Before Women's Month ends, we'll be featuring more candidates from the Miss Universe Philippines pageant, showcasing their beauty, talent, wit, and personalities. Miss Universe Philippines recently made a statement after noticing an uptick on online bashing and cyberbullying on social media before the official start of the pageant on May 11th. The organization warns bashers and bullies that they will file a report for cyberbullying and online threats that are covered under the anti-cybercrime law. Our guests for today are advocates of safe spaces and inclusivity. Joining us are delegates from Filipino communities around the world. Miss United Kingdom Cristina de la Cruz Chalk and Miss Hawaii Patricia Bianca Tapia. Welcome to the Manila Times, ladies.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for having me. It's been so lovely to meet you both.
Our first question, with barely 2 months away from the competition, how are you preparing for the Miss Universe pageant?
I think there's no right way to prepare, but my right way is really just trying to stay in my zone and not getting mentally distraught because there's so many things going on. And it's really important to just remember the reason why I'm here, and that's definitely to give back to the community on a larger level. And most importantly, stay true to who I am and just remember my core values, because every day I'm always practicing styling my outfits, but at the end of the day, it's really who I am inside and just remembering who I truly am and why I'm doing this.
I think it's mental preparation every day. Well, mental, physical, there's just so many aspects that's very different to what I'm used to having competed previously in the UK, but it's been an exciting challenge. So of course you've got your Q&A, you've got your passerella, but of course there is your aspect of your personal causes too. So I think if you're able to get those across in your day-to-day, as well as showing a little bit of your personality through your social media, it makes a huge difference.
So, Miss Patricia, I know you didn't grow up here in the Philippines. Were you born and raised in Hawaii?
Actually, I was born in Makati City, Manila, and then lumipat ako ng States when I was 4 years old. Some people always ask me, good thing you know how to speak Tagalog. Paano? Like, how do you know how? And that's because I watch a lot of TFC and paalaala mo kaya, wawawi, maging sino ka man. Like growing up, I watched too much of that, and that's how I consistently picked up on Tagalog.
I see. That's amazing. Miss Patricia, what made you decide to join the Miss Universe pageant and represent the Philippines?
So I was actually born with a hearing impairment, and therefore I'm unable to pick up on a lot of things. And this made me really insecure growing up. But when I realized the impact that I was able to do for other people, especially when I created this large club at my high school called Best Buds, and that's when I connected the people with disabilities with students from the student general population, and we did weekly activities together to stay engaged and just so that the people with disabilities can see what it's like to feel belong, because they should never feel marginalized. That's when I realized the true impact that I have on other people and my passion for really giving back for people who can't stand up for themselves. And therefore, for me, being that person for them, being that voice, I really feel like I can bring them outside of their shell. And I really wanted to join Miss Universe Philippines because I know the social impact I can bring on a larger level. And I really want to encourage people to live the best lives possible, because there's so many resources that we could use. And I want to be that resource for the people out there.
Very well said. So you're speaking from personal experience. So is this your advocacy for the Miss Universe Philippines?
Yes, it is. And I know that there's a lot of people who out there who feel very stressed out, that they're incapable of doing a lot of things. And me being hearing impaired, I realize that there's so much more than being disabled. than being marginalized. And when you're able to see the true power within yourself, which I hope to bring out in others, life becomes so much more meaningful. And I know there's a large number of people out there who feel like they can't really follow or pursue their goals. So hopefully I can be that inspiration for them.
Well, you certainly inspire me right now. Miss Patricia, I'm so inspired with everything you can do. So you're advocating for inclusivity for people with disabilities. Do you feel in this day and age that this time, do you feel that the pageant as well as other media platforms are more inclusive?
I think more and more I'm starting to see the inclusivity of our world, especially with the progressive movements and everyone working collaboratively with one another. It's really beautiful for me to see, and I think now more than ever is the best time for me to be a part of this movement, to be a part of Miss Universe Philippines, because I really think that me being a part of this can really trickle down to a lot of people. And I really want to make a change in this world, and I think now is the time because it's now or never for me.
Miss Christina, what made you join the Miss Universe? We know that you grew up in the UK, and so tell us what made you join the pageant and represent the Philippines for that matter.
Absolutely. So, what's really interesting is that when I was growing up, my cousin, Dela Cruz, used to compete in pageants in the barrio in Pangasinan. So, that's where my roots really come from. And so, growing up as a young girl, really looking up to my cousin, I was like, wow, I just want to be like her. She's so cute, she's so cool, she's so beautiful. But of course, she was just so confident. And I think that really reflected in my journey onwards. In terms of kind of representing the Philippines, that was one of my biggest regrets, not having the chance, because I grew up in the UK with my Filipino community there. We never really were kind of represented on the stage at Miss Universe Philippines. But it doesn't, just because you don't live in the Philippines doesn't mean that you're any less Filipino. We're always brought up with the values, we're hardworking, we're always welcoming. We haven't had the chance to represent as Filipino communities. I know that there's a few that move to the Philippines for several years and then take part, but I really get to be who I am. I am British, I am Filipino, and we're very proud to have that mix and be on the stage as well.
Miss Christina, tell us how is the Filipino community like in the UK? Is it very much like the Philippines, only colder?
It really is colder. Sobrang malamig. Oh my goodness. What is really interesting is that everybody has to make a big effort to see each other. Before, when my mum first moved to Dunblane, we were really small kids, but there wasn't any other Filipinos in our town. It's just a very small town. So you have to almost travel like an hour plus to be able to have that sense of community. And what's really nice is that every Sunday we would meet with our fellow Filipinos, and of course have pancit, adobo, and lots of karaoke. And we were able to kind of mix with other people like us. Whereas in our town, there wasn't many at all. So I think everybody has that Filipino spirit coming together, very welcoming. But you do have to travel a little bit further.
Which town did you grow up in the
It,
UK? You mentioned
it
there's
was a
no.
small town called Dunblane, so it's quite central. What's quite nice is that you've got your communities in Edinburgh and Glasgow, which are about an hour, sometimes an hour and 15, but then you can really head north. So people are really coming all over to meet and have a good time and have a sense of home away from home.
Sorry, that was Dublin, Ireland?
Dunblane in Scotland.
Dunblane, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Dunblane.
It's Dublin is more popular or more well known, so not to worry at all. And it's my accent as well.
Miss Christina, what's your advocacy as you join this prestigious pageant?
My passions really lie in connecting with people. And when I moved to London, unfortunately, I went through a spell of depression. You know, society has this expectation on women that they need to be perfect, they need to have the best jobs, you know, have the best relationships, create a lifestyle that is worthy. And I just wanted to make my parents proud. So when I was struggling, when I moved down to London, I didn't have any friends or family. I was just really trying to make it, and I was too shy to, um, shy or ashamed, which I shouldn't have been, to share that I was struggling with them. So I ended up going through this dark spell. But coming out of that, I ended up, you know, starting a group called Self-Esteem Queens. And that was where a group of women came together to share their struggles and, you know, focus on their goals. And through, you know, throughout the years, it's kind of moved into, you know, workshops online, whether that's focused on fitness or perhaps expanding your network through social media such as LinkedIn. It's been a really nice way to connect with others and really wear your heart on your sleeve. That's what's important to me ultimately, helping people share, feel seen, and feel heard.
So, Women's Month is about to come to an end. So, it's about to come to a close through the Holy Week. So, what does Women's Month mean to you?
I think it's just, you know, being able to share our stories and supporting those around us. I think often we get caught up in this trap of just trying to make it, and we forget to take a moment to reflect and celebrate each other. So I think it's a really nice time to take a moment, breathe, and celebrate all of those loved ones and, you know, success stories around us.
To me, Women's Month really just means to follow what resonates with you most, because I think most women still have that underlying factor or that doubt within themselves being around male figures that they are taken aback or they can't really follow what they want to because they're a woman. But I think when we let go of that identity of what people put onto us and we raise above that and rather chase what we want to and see how empowered we are, I think that's what a woman is when we don't let people define us. Because for me, I really love it when I see women make legendary life decisions for themselves because it really unlocks opportunities not only for them but for other women. And I think the most important thing is women empowering one another, because at the end of the day sometimes we only have each other.
Very well said. I love how you put it. It's about raising one another and breaking out that shell,
Yeah.
breaking that glass ceiling for everyone, all women, shapes and sizes. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. Miss Hawaii of the Miss Universe Philippines, Patricia Bianca Tapia. Thank you so much, Miss Christina, our self-esteem queen, and Miss Universe United Kingdom, Cristina de la Cruz Chalk. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you very much for you as well. And I'm loving the pink.
Salamat po. Thank you.